Hello, welcome to today's class. So let's learn what computer is all about. Now, I want to ask you a question. What is a computer? Can you guess? Of course, I know you can guess. You probably have attended primary education, secondary educations. You have had computer being defined in different situations, probably in seminars. In different ways, people probably have defined computer, try to help you understand it. Now, what I want to say here is that any definitions you have about computer is right. Okay, is right based on the fact that regardless of how anybody tries to define computer, there are basic elements that has to be present in the definition, that has to be present to explain actually what the computer is. Okay, and you're going to also find it in the definitions I'm about to give you here. So like I said, any definitions you have about computer is right, but in our own case here, we have our definitions to be that computer is an electromechanical device that is capable of accepting data as input, process the data, give out the desired output as information, and also that computer has the ability to store data for future use. Now if you look at some of the words highlighted here, it says electromechanical. Now this means that computer can be found using electronic, and also it embodies also the features of mechanical element. Okay, that means uses something that has to do with metals and all those stuff. In terms of the hardware that is used to build it. It also has that the computer has the ability to take in input. It also has the ability to process it. It also has the ability to give out an output. So these highlighted words are the things that these are some of the terms that you always find in any way people try to define computer. So basically that's what I call the basic characteristics of computer. This is actually, regardless of whatever people try to define computer, you find these things always stated out, which is that computer is an electronic device. It uses electricity, though the older versions of computer started as a mechanical device, but it has actually evolved to also use electricity and also other forms of power preservation like batteries and all that. But you just know that it's an electronic device. It also has the ability to accept data through input device. It also has the ability to store data with a memory component. That is, computer has a memory component. It also has the ability to process data, that is, work on data you give to it, and it also has the ability to retrieve data. That means there is also a system that can retrieve data from computer and also present it to an output device. It also has the ability to present information through an output device. So these are the basic characteristics that you should know about computer, regardless of whatever definitions you hear about computer. So with all these things stated out, if you are to plot the process of computer operation in a chart or in a flow chart, this is actually what you have. You have a part of the computer that is classified as the input unit, which deals with all the tools and resources, everything that is enabled to send data into the computer. They are classified under the input device. So when this input unit of a thing send data to the computer, there is also a part of the computer that is known as CPU, the processor. This is actually the part that determines how fast your computer is and all those stuff. But this processor we are talking about is also made up of three major parts. The control unit, which is the part that controls every function that goes around in your system, regardless of how big and small your computer is. They have this. They also have the part that is known as memory unit, which is actually the part that holds information while computer is processing. Okay, you also have the part that is known as arithmetic and logic unit. So when the computer has to work on anything arithmetic and logical operation, there is a part of the computer inside the CPU that does this operation. Okay, now once data comes into the CPU, the computer, through the input unit, it lands on the memory unit. From the memory unit, the control unit can control it and say, okay, this particular data, let's say you have imputed arithmetic functions, the control unit will say point to that data. So this data that is on this memory, you are supposed to go to the arithmetic and logic unit. So it's going to control it to the arithmetic and logic unit. Once the arithmetic and logic units finish working on it, it controls it also back to the memory. Then from the memory, it can say, okay, this data is ready for the user or for an output. Then it also controls it and send it back out to the output unit, which actually is where you now receive the information. Now these are the processing, these are things that actually goes on like when you are using the computer. Now all these things happen in a fast and in a remarkable fast way in terms of processing speed. But this is just it. Even as I'm recording this lesson for you now, I'm using a microphone connected to my laptop and recording my screen and all that. But this is actually what is happening to produce this video that you'll be watching right now. Okay, so I send in my voice, the computer picks it, the input unit, which is my microphone, picks my voice, send it to the computer. The control unit picks it up, know that this is a voice audio format, present it and store it the right way. When I finish working on it, I can now retrieve it, which is actually the one of the features we talk about in the basic characteristics of computer having the ability to store data. So when that information can be retrieved, I can save it and I'm able to produce it and present it for you here to watch. This is just what happens in terms of computer operations. Okay, so this is actually deep. I've tried to like decode this. This is actually my goal, to help you really understand the basis. Now, when you look at computer tomorrow, you will not look at it as something that is mysterious. It has a process, and in subsequent class, we are going to still go over and dig deep into different types of computers and how all these different types of computer works and what they are used and different ways they are used. So that is it. Computer is an electromechanical device that has the ability to accept data as an input, process that data, present that data to output, and also have the ability to store data for future reference. That is basically what computer does, and that is actually it. Okay, so I hope this class is clear enough. If you have questions regards to this particular class, you can use the question tab. If you are watching from your mobile view, you see a red tab by your left hand side at the top left of your screen. You see a red tab. If you point at it, you see the question section that you can use to ask questions regards to this class. If you are watching from your laptop view, you easily locate the question tab there. Ask your questions and I will be gladly to attend to them. So basically that is it about the concept of computer, and I will see you in the next class.